see. I'm going to talk to you guys about the pros and cons of IT. I get a lot of people who are contacting me who are new to this and who want to get in this field, and I feel like one of the questions they should ask is, what are the pros and cons of this, especially if they happen to be a nurse or a teacher or some other profession trying to get in this security field. In this field, as a cybersecurity person or IT person, what are the pros and cons of this? And the pros and cons of IT really depends on, I think, on where you're coming from. If you happen to be in the service-based industry and you're dealing with a lot of clients, and you happen to not to hate to love dealing with people, you happen to be an extrovert, you love interacting with people, and it's just boring when you don't have anybody to talk to. It makes the day go by faster if you have somebody to talk to. Then one of the negative things about can be with IT is that sometimes you're isolated. Sometimes the job makes it so that you're actually isolated. So where, for example, when I was a network engineer, sometimes we'd be in the comm closet, the communications closet, hooking up wires all day, and I wouldn't see a person. I wouldn't see a human for 6 hours a day. Like 4 hours, I'd be in this computer room, this cold computer room with no windows, fixing a router, just trying to fix the iOS on a router and backing the router up and stuff like that. And it would take all day because there'd be something wrong with it for whatever reason. It's not connecting to the rest of the network, or I'm connecting a bunch of systems to it, or I'm trying to figure out which wire's not working, or I'm trying to turn on port security on a bunch of ports or something on a switch. Like, I'd just be tinkering with this thing for hours. If you happen to be an extrovert, that can be a negative thing. If you really like interacting with people, that's one of the negative things about IT. But it really depends, because not all jobs are like that. It could be a positive thing if you happen to be an introvert, like you don't really want to be in the industry, the service industry, for example. You just don't really want to talk to people. You don't want to really deal with this kind of stuff. Then it's perfect for you, because you'll be locked in a closet programming or something all day. So it really kind of depends on like what you want to do. Pros and cons of IT. Let me think of some other pros and cons of IT. And if you guys happen to be in IT, I want to ask you guys, what are the pros and cons of being in information technology? What are the good things about being in information technology, and what are some of the bad things about being in information technology? Please chime in. Feel free to talk to me about it. I'll read your comment on there. But one good thing I would say about IT is that it pays pretty good. Like, even if you start off entry level and you're not getting paid really good, after about a year, if you put that stuff on your resume, you work your resume right, you can very quickly escalate to another level. And a lot of career paths don't have that level of they don't have that kind of progression built into the structure. Like, I know that I've got a few friends and family who were nurses, who are doing nursing, or they were CNAs or something like that. And I noticed their progression's a lot harder. Like, it's really hard to go from, say, a certified nursing assistant to a nurse. Like, there's a huge gap in pay and skill set. And there's just this huge gap between those two things. You would think it's close. It's not close at all. Like, a certified nursing assistant is a huge gap. Whereas in IT, you can quickly progress one skill at a time and make a little bit more money, a little bit more money, a little bit more money. So that's one of the pros. And DG51 says remote working is a pro. Oh my Lord. That's a great one. That's a great point, man. Thank you for bringing that up. Remote work is one of the best things about the IT field, in my personal opinion, because a lot of people don't have that option. I think if you're a nurse, you'd be a traveling nurse and you can kind of have remote work, but you're still traveling, you're still going to site and stuff like that. But with IT, you can truly be remote, and there's networking jobs that are remote. Like, there's infrastructure jobs that are remote. There's cybersecurity jobs that are remote. There's computer consulting jobs that are remote. That was my last position. There's cybersecurity that are remote, risk assessments that are remote, customer service technical that are that's remote. Like there's so many remote positions, and that's one of the great things about doing remote work. Let